Yep.
Go.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil Eggers, and along with my dad Tim Eggers, we run Eggers Southview Farms, which is just a mile east of Renner and not far from your school. We raise registered Herefords here, and what registered Herefords are the red cows with the white face like the ones you see behind me. And our cows here are registered, and what that means is that they have extensive records on them. Each one of them has a certificate just like this, and they all have a name, and we don't necessarily go by that name, but what we do use is the number that goes behind them. And so this cow is 603, meaning it was born in 2016 for the 6, and then it was a third calf born that year. And on this sheet it also has their dad and their mom, and then we take extensive weights at birth, weaning, and yearling, and all that information is right on here. So each one of our cows has this, and that's what makes them different than the other cows that you would normally see. We've been on our farm since 1907, the Eggers have it. I'm the 5th generation to raise cattle here. In the past, our farm has raised dairy cattle. They've been a big feedlot. There's been hogs, chickens, sheep, but today we mainly raise registered Herefords. Again, they're the red and white ones. My uncle and cousin raise the corn and soybeans around us. We just have the cattle and hay, and so that's what we're going to talk about today, that the cows are grazing on corn stalks. And that's what we're busy with this time of year, is making fence and moving cows. And the cows graze the corn stalks. They go out there, and normally you would see them in a pasture or in a feedlot where they'd be eating hay and grain. But at our place, they're out in the fall after their calves are weaned. They go eat corn stalks and bean stubble, and it helps the farmer, and it helps us out as well because it's a good source of cheap feed. So it may not look like there's much out there to eat, but what they do is they clean up all the corn and the leaves and the stalks, and they turn that into fertilizer. And it's really good for them. It's good for the farmer because it helps make that corn stalks into readily available fertilizer for the next year. We have to be really careful that we don't take off too much corn stalks because some of that is needed to make a healthy crop for the next year. So we move cattle a lot. And the way that we do that is with this fence right here that's actually looks like a rope. And it has a small current through it, which is coming through here. And the cows know that when they get close, they can actually just feel this a little bit, and they're very smart. And they know that they can't go through it or touch it because it'll tickle them a little bit. And how this works is that we unhook the electric part, and then we basically put posts in the ground, and you can wind this up like this, and then you can unwind it as we make the fence, and you put your posts in and you pull it tight and put it on there, and that's how we can move cows from field to field. We move them with pickups and four-wheelers. Some people move their cattle with horses, but we don't do that on this side of the state as much. Some people do, but we don't. So that's what we're busy with on the farm this month. A lot of fencing, a lot of moving cattle, and as we get closer to Christmas or when the snow comes, that's when we'll start feeding our cows a balanced ration. And so they can't just have corn stalks to eat, they're going to need a little extra, so we'll bring them in and feed them more through the winter until they calve. But we'll be with you through this entire process, and from now until the end of the school year, we'll be talking more about what goes on around the farm. We're really excited to share our egg story with you. Be sure to share, keep any questions that you might have for me, because I'm going to do a classroom visit, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.